wide world around.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Animation Pilgrimage, the show where Tennille and I take a look at every single theatrically released animated film in chronological order. I'm Whitney.
I'm Tennille.
And today we took a look at The Fabulous Adventures of the Legendary Baron Munchausen from Gene Image France.
I'm exhausted by the title alone.
I do want to say thank you to Michael Ray for finding this movie for us.
As a general whole, I'm really glad that movies have stopped using the adjective adventures of blankety blank and blank 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 blank.
Like, this title tells me nothing other than this is probably going to be exhausting.
Well, other than that, there's a guy named Baron Munchausen, and this is a story about him. In which case, you could have just named your movie Baron Munchausen.
Or the legendary Baron Munchausen. We don't need the fabulous adventures of this guy.
Right, it adds absolutely nothing.
How many movies have we watched in Animation Pilgrimage that have the blank adventures
of? Too many.
Too many. And I don't think we really liked any of them. Like, some of them might have been fine, but
I can't think of a single use of
that title that we like.
Of where the adventures of ended up being good. I guess maybe did Toei do was the first Puss in Boots they did like the Wonderful World of Puss in Boots or something like that?
Maybe.
That's not quite the same, but it's still...
Actually, I thought of one. Unico is technically...
The Adventures of Unico?
The Adventures of Unico.
True. But we just did ourselves a favor and called it Unico. And a lot of the promotional material, it
is just
says
Unico as well, yeah. So, like, that extra fluff part of the title might have honestly been like an English release of the movie or something. Either way, this movie was tedious.
Yeah. So, to start things off, this is produced by Gene Image Studio. That's how you say it.
Gene Image. Okay.
Image, spelled like the word image. But yeah, Gene Image Studio, which also brought us Johnny the Giant Killer and Aladdin and His Magic Lamp. So, we
didn't like either of those either.
No, that's the kind of quality we're looking at here.
4 frames a second? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking this was all about 4 frames a second.
The production quality on the movie was very low. There was not a lot of frames. It might have just been the dub we watched, but I kind of doubt it. But there's just constant talking. Because, again, we were forced to watch the English dub of the movie as compared to the original French version.
And the person who gave us the film also did give us the French. And at first I was curious to see how they would differ. But then by the time we got to the end of this movie, I was like, you know what? I don't care.
I don't want to rewatch this movie or even skim through this movie again.
Yeah, this was dull.
The character design itself is fine.
It's passable.
Like, the characters all look unique from each other, and, like, you can easily tell who's who.
Right.
The sets and backgrounds are just really basic and boring most of the time. And this has nothing to do with the movie itself, but the recording of the movie we watched was very low quality.
Yeah.
Like, it was like a VHS rip of a TV rip or something like that, so it wasn't terribly great in that sense.
Apparently, one thing we do know is the difference between the dub and the original is that they've cut stuff from it.
Yeah, they cut like 4 or 5 minutes when they translated it to English. Probably because it was released to television in America, so they just needed to cut a little bit more to make it fit into the time slot better or whatever.
Right.
How about a plot synopsis?
Good luck.
Baron Munchausen is perfect and great and has the solution to any problem at any time, all the time, forever. He's unstoppable.
To give the movie a little bit of credit, this isn't framed as him being a perfect individual necessarily. It's being framed as him being someone who tells tall tales. Mm-hmm. The movie doesn't do a great job at framing that point, but, like, it's there.
Yeah. So the whole framing device of the movie is he's just sitting around a table and telling tall tales of his grand adventures to all of his prim and prissy friends and whatever.
Right.
So he is commissioned by the King of France, presumably, to go to a Middle Eastern country and deliver a present.
To a sultan or something.
Yeah. So he does that. But on the way, he stops every 2 steps to pick up a new person with a random superpower. Like, this guy can run really fast, and this guy is super strong.
Well, it's Jack Be Nimble.
Uh-huh, and then Hercules, for some reason, is the strong guy. And then we get, like, more weird characters, like a guy that can see really far and is a perfect sharpshooter, or a guy that blows wind everywhere, and he's just called Maelstrom or something.
Hurricane.
Hurricane? Was that his name?
I think so.
That's such a worse name.
Yeah.
Ugh. And there's also a guy with really big ears that can hear things, and God, he's disturbing.
Yeah, his name is something like Speak Louder?
Little Louder or something? It's
little louder.
Little Louder, yeah. Bad.
Boo.
Don't like it. No good.
We've picked up a cast of characters that are going to contribute absolutely nothing to the plot.
But they do, because while he's there with the Sultan, he insults him, and then he has to get wine from his own castle in an hour. So then he requires the use of all of his picked up friends' superpowers to run over there and get it, and then do other things. And then they have the strong guy grab all the gold, and they run away. And so, yeah, that's the halfway point of the movie.
Okay, but it's still not, like, plot important. Because, like you said, all of his friends are used for this one thing. And this one thing takes, like, 2 minutes to execute. Mm-hmm. But we spent, like, half of the movie setting up him meeting all these people.
Yeah.
And now they're not going to be useful ever again.
Yeah, and now we're into the second half of the movie, and only one of these guys shows up again.
Uh-huh.
The second half of the movie is apparently his journey back, and he is off-screen captured by a dude that is then in a castle, and he gets attacked by cannonballs, and he rides the cannonballs out, because why not? And then he falls into the ocean and interacts with mermaids, and then he's on a boat, and they get swallowed by a whale, and this is where he meets a hurricane again, and so he blows them all out of the whale, and then there's 2-headed vultures that pick them up and take them to bird court for, I don't know, humans killing birds or whatever.
It suddenly turns into the end of B-movie, or I guess the midpoint of B-movie.
With the court scene?
With the court scene, where, like, for some reason, the Baron is being tried by birds for all the crimes man has done against birds.
And Baron Munchausen's like, well, we're just helping you. You would die without us.
No.
We keep you in cages to keep you safe.
Baron, shut up. I think the birds will be fine.
Uh-huh.
They've been roaming this planet a lot longer than humans.
Yeah, it's like, wow, you sound real stupid right now, Munchausen.
I mean, he sounds real stupid all the time.
Yeah, but like this particular instance is like, nah, throw him into the volcano.
And they do. They throw him into a volcano.
But then he escapes.
Because the volcano explodes, I guess, and he rides a rock out.
And then he's picked up by Hurricane, who's just in a balloon with a random girl for
Hot air
absolutely
balloon,
no reason.
And the balloon has an anchor. Like, this is a small point. But, like, why does this balloon have an anchor hanging out of it? That's not a thing.
Probably not.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Anyways, and then he goes home, and his story's done. The end.
Boo! I hated this.
This was not good. I would not say I hated it.
Yeah, like,
I would say this just
very
really
dull.
really boring and quite tedious to get through. I will say that children will be distracted by the constant noise and action happening.
But do you really want that to be the bar?
This is not a compliment.
Yeah.
This is not a compliment. That is the worst possible movie you can make.
This is a, like, jangling keys situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was not good. I do not recommend anybody watch this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the character, Baron Munchausen, is based off of a book character of the same name.
I'm not surprised.
Mm-hmm. Who is himself sort of based on a real person, another baron, named Hieronymus Karl Frederick, which I think is a much cooler name. But he was like the Baron of Munchausen, so that's why Baron Munchausen gets passed along.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, that's really all I gotta say. We have 2 more movies from AnimationPilgrimage
To watch?
Yeah.
They only make 2 more movies?
Yeah. So one of them,
is all of your information done?
Basically, so...
Okay, because we're about to watch another one.
Yeah, so we have another one of his to watch right now. He somehow made 2 movies this year, and then he has one other film in, like, 1984, and that's it.
Okay. So, yeah, I guess join us back here next time as we stay in 1979 with that next AnimationPilgrimage film. Little Orbit, the Astro Dog, and the Screechers from Outer Space. See you guys then.
Titles.
I'm Hercules, and if you please, to twirl the world upon my finger is no trouble, for the world is but a bubble. Burst with ease, I'm Hercules, and how do you do? I'm Hercules!